Hey everyone, this is going to be the fourth time that I've recorded this. Like I said, the forces are just stacked up right now, not wanting this message to get out, but hell and high water, I'm going to do it. And I'm going to start with the book of Revelation, chapter 4, because it's very important to what I'm about to show you. After this I looked, and behold, a door was opened in heaven, and the first voice which I heard was as it were a trumpet talking with me, which said, Come up hither, and I will show these things which must be hereafter. And immediately I was in the Spirit, and behold, a throne was set in heaven, and one sat on the throne. And he that was to look upon like a jasper and a sardine stone, and there was a rainbow round about the throne, in sight like unto an emerald, and round about the throne were 24 seats, which means 24. And upon the seats I saw 24 elders sitting, clothed in white raiment, and they had on their heads crowns of gold. And out of the throne proceeded lightnings and thunderings and voices. And there were 7 lamps of fire burning before the throne, which are the 7 spirits of God. And behold, and before the throne there was a sea of glass like unto crystal, and in the midst of the throne and round about the throne were 4 beasts full of eyes, which were 4 beasts full of eyes before and behind. And the first beast was like a lion, and the second like a calf. And the third beast had a face of a man, and the fourth beast was like a flying eagle. Okay, let's recap that. Here's the lion, that's the first beast. The second beast, the calf. The third beast is the face of the man, and the fourth beast is the flying eagle. In my last video, I showed the. Let me zoom up here real quick. I showed the line with the thunder and the lightning that was taking place between the good and the evil, the sin, and then there's the duality of everything. That one separating line showing how the sea is all the people filled with sin, sea of glass, and it cuts. And the land above the sea is going to contain the 4 continents, like the 4 mountains. But I want to show you with this. Okay, when you first come into, when you first come into the first beast, I want to take you back to the first videos that I made with this series. I talked about when I was taken in the Spirit, me personally, over a year ago. The first thing the Lord did was He took His hands and He cupped it around His mouth, and He just shouted and He screamed, "Rah!" And I couldn't understand what He was saying, but it scared me. And this is like the ego, kind of like yourself, how everything's about me, or I. And you don't see anything wrong with anything you do. This was once me also, before the Lord revealed everything, or not everything, but revealed Himself to me and showed me how to overcome this lion and this beast that I was. The second beast was that of a calf, and immediately the Lord showed me half and added light, half light like the moon. Okay, and I wrote moon down here. I'll go ahead and tell you, when I was growing up, my family had 4 horses while I was a kid. One of the horses' name was Zero, and this reminds me of the lion's mouth, like my horse that I had growing up. His name was Zero. And then another stallion that we had was named Moon. This is like the reflection of the sun. The moon does not produce its own light. The light that you see is a reflection of the sun. So if you go back to this picture right here and we just look at the one line, then we see the sea, okay? Above the sea, this is where the sun would be, right up in here. So if we go back to this picture and we see down below, this bottom half represents the sea, the people that are filled with sin, the lion roaring, representing you, the beast within you that sees nothing wrong because of the ego, and then the calf, which is half light. You're only reflecting the light of the sun. It needs to be within you. You become the light. The Holy, not you personally, but the Holy Spirit becomes the light within you. Okay, and it talks about how the third beast, speaking about you and me and everyone, the third beast that we see within us is, it becomes the face of a man. We see ourselves. We see Jesus and we become more like him. And we see him for who he is as the Spirit. And it's contained within us. And then the last beast that we see and overcome is the flying eagle. This is when we receive our wings. Right here we receive the Spirit, and then right here it's like we gain the keys to the throne room of heaven with our Father, and I'm going to speak about that in just a second. My third horse that we had, the third name that we had for one of our horses was Baby Doll. And this fit right along with the face of the man. The Holy Spirit is born. This is when we come out of the sea right here, the two sea, or the two sections contained in the sea, and come up out of the sea and gain the Spirit, face of the man. And then we have the last one again is the, excuse me, our destiny is to gain our wings, to go into the air. We come out of the sea, out of the land, and go up into the air, which is a cloud, which is heaven. My fourth horse that we had was named Destus. And he was showing me, I think it was a day before he showed me this picture, he was showing me 3 names of our horses, and I remembered 3 of the name of the horses, but I didn't even know we had a third horse, or of course the name. But I called my mother and I texted her and I said, Mom, I remember having Zero, Moon, and Baby Doll, but was that all of our horses? And she texted me back and she said, yeah, I think it was. And I said, okay. She asked me why. I said, well, I was just wondering. The Lord was showing me some things, and I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't overlooking one horse, because he kept showing me the 4 horses in Revelations. And she texted me back at about an hour later. She's like, we did have another one. It was called Destus. And when she said that, it instantly reminded me of all the times I heard her saying, come on, Destus, come on, Destus. Trying to make her go, because I think this horse, if I remember correctly, was very stubborn, and I just remember my mom saying Destus a lot. So anyway, I just wanted to show you the beast. Hopefully you're not surprised in seeing that the beast is within us. In order for us to overcome and to gain our wings and to get into heaven, we have to overcome the 4 beasts, which are within ourselves, before we can gain the Holy One. And I know I spoke about the Spirit, but we still have to learn how to walk in the Spirit. We have to overcome the sin, which is the sea, but we have to learn how to walk in the Spirit and how to actually go up to heaven and fly up to heaven. And that's exactly what he's teaching and revealing for us at this moment in time right now. I'll be back with my 5th video.